when we say pro in the league, that means don't rock the boat, don't get out that box. Because if he had any bit of that in him where he could potentially sit out, he would have actually used a little bit of that to actually get more leverage. How would he have done that, Woo? He would have actually came out months ago and said, I'm not playing without this, this, and that. He didn't do that. Why? Reputation. I can't rock the boat. I'm in New York. I am the face of this franchise. And when you are in New York and you're a face of this franchise, like many others across the country, you don't do that. You keep your mouth quiet. You let your representation go out there and get the job done. No. But in the biggest moments in sports where things had to get done, the players had to use their platform publicly to actually push on the organization. And I'm using this as an example for other players out there who may be negotiating or may want a little bit more, but don't know how to get that. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to be willing to stand up and say, look, maybe it's not the Giants. Don't go out there and say, oh, I'm a Giant for life. Why? Because I want the fan base to be behind me forever. And B just did it. Yeah. Now they talking about exit process. Is that what y'all wrote or something? Like, or somebody else wrote that? It was trust the process. Now it's time to exit the process. He just said it publicly. Look, he just put it out there, a little taste. Now watch how it heats up over the next 6-7 months or maybe the next year. If he wants out and he don't get what he wants.
I have to push back on that a little bit though, because I feel like Saquon, although he wasn't maybe as flagrant with the way that he expressed it, I think he definitely left room for interpretation of what he was willing to do and what he was willing to accept. He may not have come out and said it black and white, but I don't think he made it seem like he was just going to be okay with whatever. He called cap on multiple reports. He was tweeting out little subliminals here and there. Even in the instance where we got sound bites from him, you could see that you could hear rather that he wasn't going to just do whatever the Giants wanted him to do to benefit them, that he also wanted to. I think that it's his personality, maybe not to be in your face about it.
It don't have to be
but
your
I don't think that he made it seem like he was just going to take whatever.
It's a business tech. Let me ask you, not just you, Ashley, but anybody in the room right now, was any of those sound bites that Ashley talked about or emojis, whatever, what do you guys remember? Was there anything that he ever said or posted that said, oh, there's trouble in paradise?
No, probably it is what
it is. What it is. That's probably it.
And that was yesterday.
That I can remember.
That was yesterday at the deadline.
I mean, him calling cap on that report was like, okay, there's obviously two sides to this story, and somebody's lying.
Nah, come on.
Like,
I hear what you're saying, though, Brandon. Like you said, you don't think he has the personality and the
it's a lot really of us athletes don't.
Yeah.
It's not just him. This is not beat up on Saquon Barkley.
Right.
It's a lot of these guys. Because I
feel like it's so manipulative of the NFL.
It's
right?
like, because like now you
yeah, it is manipulative.
Like this is a big conversation.
I don't think though that he's walking around thinking, first of all, if he were the face of the franchise, he would have got paid like one. I don't think he has that like just fantasize, idealize version of who he is to this organization, and that's what was preventing him.
Yes, he knows who he is. He knows his place.
If he were the face of the franchise, he would have been paid already.
That's why but that's the point.
But that's my point. No. You think that he's that delusional and is romanticizing what he means to the New York Giants, New Jersey Giants rather.
He said it, Ashley. He said it.
But hear what you just said. If you were the face of the franchise, or what I just said rather, if he was the face of the franchise, he would have got paid. Now he hasn't got paid. You're still walking around thinking you're the face of the franchise and they just forgot to pay you?
I'm not saying he's still walking around that way. What he said, one of the things I do remember him saying is, this process has taught me a lot.
Okay.
He taught me that it's all business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, I do believe Saquon and so many others, we walk in there because we see the owner every day for the most part. Oh, hey, what's up, Mr. B? You might be on the Stairmaster sitting next to the owner. You might be at lunch sitting next to the owner. The owner might ask you to, come jump on my helicopter today because we're going to go over here and do a charity event. Like, you're seeing these people every single day. So you get wrapped up in this fantasy that is his family. I'm telling you.
I can't.
I'm telling you, I was in the locker room for 13 years.
Maybe before the writing is on the wall, you have that image in your head. I can believe that 100%. But you want me to sit here and believe that every opportunity you have had to get paid by this organization that you think is family and you're the face of, and every time they pass over you, you're still walking around with that romanticized version of what you mean to this franchise in your head.
No,
this is his first contract.
No, we're talking about this is
no, but last year, Brandon and I were talking about this yesterday. Last season, there was reportedly a deal being worked out that fell to the wayside.
Okay.
How many times?
They started talking last year, I believe.
So how many times do you have to get passed over by the franchise that you think you're the face of and walk around with this, we're a family, until you realize maybe I'm not the face and maybe we're not a family.
Well,
I don't think he's that oblivious to his surroundings.
I don't know what part of the conversation you're at. All I'm saying is, Saquon Barkley and so many others walk around not understanding. We walk around as athletes afraid to tap into what they do every single day, and that is just keep it real.
They meaning who?
Because if a player and they know this, the owners know this. The owners know that Saquon Barkley. Even a Lamar Jackson. Lamar did it a little bit, and you saw what happened. But a player to go out there and say, I don't want to be here, or I want more money, or I'm not happy here. The fan base turns against you, and now you become the problem. Now you're all over all the shows. You turn on your TV, everybody just talking about you in a bad way. That's uncomfortable for a lot of players. Holding out is uncomfortable for a lot of players. Holding in is uncomfortable for a lot of players. But that's exactly what you got to do to get your money at times. What I'm saying about players, okay, it's not a Saquon Barkley thing, is we are afraid because of all these factors, the fan base, ownership, brand deals, what the greats in the past have done, what they tell you a pro is supposed to be, how you're supposed to conduct your business, all these things that they tell us, and all these things that's out there. We are afraid to go against that because we don't want to be uncomfortable and we don't want to hurt our reputation. Okay. And that's why players sit there and they don't say anything. They don't hold out. They don't hold in. And guess what? They get taken advantage of. And I feel like this should be a wake-up call, not only for the running back position, but for all athletes. Like, man, what else can we do? This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is terrible because, Ashley, I'm with you. He is. He's not just a running back. We talked about that at the beginning. He is the offense. Yeah. This is disrespectful.
Yeah. I wonder why that is, because, like, we have a writer's strike right now, and those are creators who are willing to stand out on the street corner and pridefully say, yo, I need this. And we have very strong individuals, millionaires that are just, I guess,
what
more
fan
willing.
base is pushing back on the writer?
I'll say this, though.
That's true. There isn't a fan base. But I do want to see them stand up for themselves. Sorry.
I will say this, though, on that note. I was on radio at the time. I was working for iHeartRadio when the CBA first was proposed, a new one. And I remember having this conversation on radio, and the clip is, I can find it at some point.
We're Sirius XM today.
It was right.
I'm so glad to have her.
Back in the day, a few years ago. I remember having this very conversation. Did you know there was over 500 players who did not vote on the new CBA?
Oh, yeah. No.
Over 500. So, like, when you think about that,
and how many players are there?
And when you think about how many,
think about how 2,000.
Think about that. So it's frustrating when there are rules and regulations and changes to the National Football League that are going to either affect current players or future players, and there are people who just say, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to make my voice heard. No, I know it's not, but I'm saying it's not. When you talk about getting together, and one of the reasons that the NBA is able to get things done is because those players band together. Mm-hmm. Those players move as a unit. The NFL's biggest problem has always been although it is a league where there's a brotherhood, when it comes down to banding together to make rules and changes that benefit the greater good of the player, they can't seem to unify.
Correct.
It's only a small group or small groups of players within the NFL that are able to go ahead and band together to move forward. But then there are a lot of players who are like, I got to worry about me. I got to worry about my family. I can't worry about what everybody else has to go on. Or I'm going to be out the league in a few years. This is not my problem. That's so contradictory to how the NBA moves, which is why they're so many light years ahead in terms of their players association and the things they are allowed to do and not allowed to do within the league. Same thing with the Major League Baseball leagues. With Major League Baseball, the NFL has notoriously had an issue with the players banding together, which is why the owners and these franchises are able to get away with murder sometimes because they don't band together to make rules that benefit them as players first. And it's frustrating. When I found that number out, that 2,000, a little bit over 2,000 players in the NFL and over 500 of you or around 500 of you didn't even vote.
I'll mess you up worse. It's actually lower than that. It's 1,696. 1,500 are active, so if 500 don't vote, that's a 30-year league.
That's insane to me.
That's a huge difference.
That's an insane number. But then you want to
but you got to understand why though. Like it is, but you got guys that they say the average career is 3 years, but out of that 1,600, these guys may stick around for a camp, maybe a year, right? So them guys don't give a damn about what's happening 10 years from now. They just want to make the team. They just want a contract. They don't care about any of that. So that's a problem, but you got to peel back the layers and understand why. And so I can understand that number. What I don't understand, Ashley, and this is the difference between the NFL and the NBA, is that when you see the players of the NBA walking into the NBA league office to negotiate, and I can never forget this picture, and there's been so many moments after this, but I remember like CP3, Kobe, LeBron, like all of those guys, like the faces of the NBA walking in there together. The NFL, you didn't see no Peyton Manning. You didn't see no Drew Brees, no Tom Brady, no Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, J.J. Watt. You ain't see those guys.
Nope.
But it starts with our quarterbacks. Before I even put it on anybody else, it starts with those quarterbacks. You didn't see them in there. And I keep saying this, and I hate to say this, it's not me bashing, but it is what it is. It's like this was our situation, our reality. The last CBA, Ashley, in 2010, not the one you're talking about. We paid Drew Brees to walk in with us. Drew Brees got paid a significant check to help the players.
Wow.
That's the
part
problem.
of me feels like the other thing that's not being mentioned often is I think the actual owners of the teams in the NBA almost kind of want to see the NBA players do better. I don't get that vibe from the NFL.
That's because
they want to hold them back down.
But the issue is that the athletes of the NFL allow them to.
No,
and
correct.
The
and
NFL owners,
that's fair.
if we're going to be honest, NFL owners and franchises prey on the fact that they know that the NFL, from a player standpoint, is never unified. The NBA can't get away with that because they know that the players will band together and boycott.
But listen to it.
But the owners know within the National Football League, the owners know that is never the case in the NFL.
And they're using it to their advantage.
They use it to their advantage constantly, and it will only change when the players start using their power to their advantage.
Okay, I love where we're at right now, and this gets us back to the Saquon Barkley and all the running backs, Josh Jacobs, et cetera, with exactly what you just said, right? The NFL owners know that players can't come together. The NFL owners also know that we're not really good at negotiating. We really don't understand best business practices. We are athletes or players. That's what we do. There's an art and a science to business. So not only us talking about sports and these athletes, but everybody in this chat, everybody who may listen to this, need to understand when you do business, when you sit down with a real successful person, they are sitting down. Everything's intentional. Everything they say, everything they do. If they take you out to dinner and they say, hey, everybody gonna have drinks. It's an interview process. Why you wanna have a drinks? We wanna see how you act when you have drinks. Everything's intentional. So I say all that to say this as athletes, starting with athletes, it affects all of us, but athletes, like, we got to be more strategic. We got to understand this. We got to read those books. Negotiating for Dummies. You can go get that in Barnes and Noble. Right? Things like that. Start somewhere. Do you know, Ashley, do you know, I heard this from a general manager, that they will watch you. We draft Ashley Nicole Moss. Boom.
Finally.
So we
Brucey time, baby.
Right. You in your prime, too?
All right, but even what we talked about yesterday, like Ashley came in, we had this big discussion. I'm like, damn, is that a Hermes? I don't even know what that was. Is that the Celine big bag with the crocodile? Whatever it was, I'm thinking this crocodile is real, and that's thousands. That's what I'm thinking, right?
Nope, just a tote.
So boom, we just drafted Ashley Nicole Moss. Ashley Nicole Moss comes in. Damn, okay, Ashley. You got a rollie now. You got the
I have a Hermes bracelet.
She got the Hermes bracelet and the Hermes. Let's say the bag is a Hermes bag that she brought. You brought the same bag in today?
Same bag.
Look at this. So
My Hermes bracelet, my fake Hermes bag.
right.
Yes.
So boom. So that's 25,000. I swear to you guys, I'm not making this up. There's people watching Ashley every single day when she comes in and taking those notes. Okay, she's investing more in shoes. She's investing more in bags. She just bought another house. So now, when it's time to get to the table, they already understand your cash flow and what your needs are. Mm-hmm. So when a player comes into that room, they already know this dude is out leveraged. This dude needs help. Or in Ashley's sense, she has a really, really expensive lifestyle. So guess what? We got her. Mm-hmm. We got her. And I'm saying that because that's how strategic they are. Woo, I am not playing, Woo. When I heard this, it blew my mind that there's organizations out there watching and taking notes on players, who they're flying in, what are they driving, what hotels are they putting their people in, just so they understand their cash needs. And then a lot of times what they'll do, sorry, Ashley, I'll just take 10 seconds and I'll give it to you. The last thing that, and what they'll do is, players like this, they'll go to them early. Oh, you need it. Ashley, you need it. We ain't even signed you yet. Ashley is just a star. Ashley, she gets it. She understands it. That's why she's starting to buy the Hermes bags and all the rollies and all of that. She knows her contract is a year away. Mm-hmm. So she knows she's going to get what, Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill already got. You know what? She knows she's going to go above that. She thinks she's going to go above that because she's next up. So we're going to go to Ashley now. Hey, Ashley. We would like to offer you a 5 for 95.
No.
But that's what they're going to do, right? Because we can get to her early. So instead of giving her 30, maybe we give, I don't even know what those numbers are, but we get her a couple million cheaper because she needs it now. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it. Sorry